Atravessar até.
Rafael.
church in the valley.
Because I want to ask them will be upstanding. Oh, it is on. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this luncheon. I would want to request all of us to be upstanding for the Kenyan national anthem. Thank you. We may take our seats. Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohamed, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Kenya, and the chief guest of this reception, Honorable Joe Musheru, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of ICT, Republic of Kenya, Honorable Ministers present, Kenyan Boyeki, Chairman of the 26th UPU Congress, heads of delegations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kiema Kilonzo. I am the ambassador of the Republic of Kenya to Turkey. On behalf of the government of Kenya, I'm extremely delighted to welcome you all to this reception. I particularly wish to thank the honorable ministers, heads of delegations, distinguished delegations for attending our luncheon. We are indeed greatly humbled and honored by your presence here today. I know that we are ready for lunch, and we have no intention of keeping you waiting for long. It is therefore my pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary of Information, Communication and Technology of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Joe Musheru, to make a few remarks, and thereafter invite the guest of honor, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohamed, Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to address you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Good afternoon, everyone. the host minister of Turkey, fellow ministers. I am delighted to be here this afternoon to invite you for this lunch. I know this is meant to be food, but as they say, there is no free lunch. But we're going to make it almost free in terms of the speeches are going to be very limited. I'm very pleased to be here because for me in Kenya and our government, ICT and Posta are very, very, very critical. E-commerce is the way to go. The logistics that we need to be able to improve in our country, the livelihoods of our people, whether it is goods traveling within the country or within the region or internationally, it is very critical. We're currently reviewing our ICT policy, and at the center of that is the Postal Corporation, which I'm happy to say is still government-owned, and therefore we are able to still manage its affairs and direction. I'm very humbled to see the intensity and excitement of getting postal services to work globally. And I've come from the private sector, and as I said earlier, I had initially thought that there is no interest really in the postal services, and only a few of us were ambassadors. But as I see now, we actually have very, very many ambassadors that are going to actually make that difference. In achieving the SDGs, we cannot be able to do that without the postal services, without ensuring that the services, which include finance, the logistics that need to be provided, and the postal services themselves, are actually provided to citizens. We also want to add, through technology, the marketing services so that you're able to get products and move those products extremely fast. So for me, this is not an event for speeches, but to invite our chief guest, Dr. Amina Mohamed, my colleague in the Kenyan cabinet, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, to come and address you. She has a few things to ask you for 2017 to 2020. I'm thankful that you've supported Kenya significantly, and so I'll leave it to her to come. Amina.
My colleague and dear brother, Cabinet Secretary Joe Msheru, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Kenya in Turkey, colleague, ministers, heads of delegation of UPU member countries, the chairman of UPU Congress, Mr. Kenyan Bozic, Ambassador Bishar Hussein, Director General of the UPU, Mr. Cleves Pascal, Deputy Director General of the UPU. I've also seen the head of the ITU here, and I'd like to acknowledge his presence. Distinguished delegates, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great pleasure to thank all of you for honoring our invitation to this reception that's hosted in this historic and beautiful city of Istanbul in support of Kenya's candidatures at the 26th session of the UPU Congress. On behalf of the government of Kenya, of the Kenyan delegation that is here, I wish to appreciate your kind gesture. And I'd just like to tell you that we do not take it for granted at all. The Republic of Kenya is a committed member of the international community and the United Nations family, and an active participant in the affairs of various UN agencies. And I think the head of the ITU would probably confirm that as well, and other intergovernmental bodies at the sub-regional and regional levels. Our long-standing tradition of engagement at the global arena is rooted in our firm belief that multilateralism and cooperation are critical ingredients for the promotion of international peace, prosperity, and security. Within the context of the postal and wider ICT sector, Kenya has had a long history of participation in the affairs of the two oldest UN agencies, namely the International Telecommunications Union and the Universal Postal Union. Our active partnership and engagement with these two extremely important agencies is inspired by our government's belief and commitment to the ideals of the ITU and the UPU. Our commitment in the activities of these two bodies has played a significant role in transforming our own, Kenya's, ICT landscape into one of the most vibrant and innovative in the region and in the world at large. The success of Kenya's postal and ICT sector is a clear manifestation of the important role that the UPU continues to play in improving the quality of the international postal network. Your Excellencies, colleague ministers, heads of delegations, distinguished delegates, Excellencies, ambassadors, the posts globally are at a crossroads. And that's due to the seismic shifts that have and continue to take place in the local and global operating environments, driven largely by ICTs and changing customer tastes and preferences. To remain competitive and relevant, the posts must adapt to the rapidly evolving environment. The UP is now called upon, more than ever before, to discharge its advisory and liaison roles and to provide technical assistance to allow its members to adapt for the emerging market trends and realities. Kenya will continue to be involved in the efforts that the UPU is undertaking to improve its efficiency, to modernize the postal product portfolio, and to improve the supply chain management, as well as the good work that the UPU is doing in setting of technical, operational, and regulatory standards and other customer-oriented reform initiatives to meet the current demands and challenges of the international postal market. I'm sure you'll all confirm that the UPU is on track and that it is up to the task. The government of Kenya, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, believes that the experience Ambassador Bishar Hussein has acquired as Director General of the UPU over the last 4 years will be extremely useful in navigating the UPU successfully into the future. We are therefore requesting for your support. We're requesting for your support for a second mandate for Ambassador Hussein. Ambassador Hussein, I think maybe ladies and gentlemen, under his leadership, the International Bureau of the UPU has delivered over 98% of the Doha Postal Strategic Objectives, among other achievements. Ambassador Hussein has been a great advocate and spokesman for the UPU, and under his watch, the organization is more visible and more successful. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are also seeking support for our candidatures in the UPU Council of Administration and in the Postal Operations Council. I'm pleased to inform you that all these positions enjoy the full support and endorsement of the Heads of State and Government Summit of the African Union. We are keen to continue participating effectively and actively in UPU affairs, including in shaping its future direction. Allow me, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to thank your respective governments for the many opportunities accorded to Kenya in the past to serve in the UPU. The government of Kenya remains forever indebted to you for this support. Let me conclude by assuring you of our total commitment towards the attainment of UPU's objective of ensuring a truly universal network of up-to-date products and services. And I'd like to end by requesting you for your support once again. I thank you very much for your attention.
Your Excellencies, the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Kenya, the Ambassador of Kenya to Turkey, the Minister for ICT of Kenya, distinguished ministers of Post and Telecommunications present here, our host government representative, the Chairman of the Council, the Chairman of the Congress, Mr. Kenyan, my Deputy Director General, Mr. Pascal Cleaver, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you, and I'll be very, 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 very brief. In my custom, African customs and traditions, when our elders have spoken, a man cannot be able to speak for himself any better than she has already done. So thank you very much, my sister and my Minister of Foreign Affairs, for the support, tremendous support the Kenya government has given me, and by extension, all the African heads of states. I remember when we were in Addis Ababa, they all endorsed. And through your excellencies, please, I want you to convey my respect and the respect of Kenya government to all your heads of state to say thank you very much. We have here many, many, many friends from all over the world, which I have acquired during the last 4 years. Great countries that have supported us. So I want to say again, thank you very much for the support you have given me. We have delivered 98% of your decisions, resolutions, and recommendations from the 25th Congress from Doha. And with me, with the support of my co-pilot, Mr. Pascal Cleaver, we came to present that to you in this Congress. And we do hope to do the same and deliver all your expectations to the next Congress in 2020. And with those few remarks, I end to say that we are committed and will serve you with all respect and equal dignity in the next coming years. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
On behalf of Our Excellency Dr. Honorable Amina Mohammed, it is now my humble duty to ask lunch to be served and say a fiat or so, bon appetit, karibuni sana. Thank you.
Over the course of 3 decades, Kenya has earned a reputation as one of the world's leading Asian destinations and is famous for the production of wildlife documentaries. Kenya, a land of diversity. There is so much to offer, from the lofty, snow-clad twin peaks of Mount Kenya to the warm blue waters of the Indian Ocean, unique diversity of wildlife, forests, climate, and people. Kenya is not simply a land of bush and wildlife. Music and dance is unique to the people of Kenya with varied cultures and traditions. Expectations run high when visitors come to Kenya. The anxiety is fulfilled as visitors journey through Kenya's national parks and game reserves, where wild animals still roam freely in as much the same way as they have done for centuries. In his 1963 manifesto, the first president of the Republic of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, said, and quote, "Natural resources of this country, its wildlife, which offers such an attraction to visitors from all over the world, the beautiful places in which animals live, the mighty forests which guard water catchment areas, so vital to the survival of man and beast, are priceless for the future." This was a manifesto that became a cornerstone in conservation of flora and fauna in an effort to preserve for prosperity the country's rich biodiversity. Conservation and preservation of Kenya's vast wildlife resource.
Подожди, предлагайте. А там то же самое.
These include national parks, national reserves, sanctuaries, and marine parks scattered all over the Republic. The great diversity of animal species and plant life within Kenya's national parks is remarkable. Each park is unique, with different wildlife species and habitats. To get a feel of the country's diversity, this park hosts over 450 species of birds, both terrestrial and migratory. An ornithologist's haven, which is also a uniquely rewarding game viewing destination. The park is a Ramsar and World Heritage Site, recognized as a wetland of international importance. With an area of 188 square kilometers, it is one of the first national parks to be established as a wild sanctuary and is now home to one of the largest earshot of Nairobi's downtown traffic. The diverse flora of Nairobi National Park makes it possible for many different types of wildlife species to coexist. It is a superb park that hosts most of the wildlife to be seen on an extended safari. These include lion, buffalo, cheetah, zebra, giraffe, and numerous antelopes and gazelles. The park also hosts black rhinos. It is one of its tributaries and sources and vital elements of the natural ecosystem of this park. Tourism is a major contributor to Kenyan economy. Thousands of visitors, both local and international, come to this park every year to witness the beauty of rich variety of healthy ecosystems. And for something fun to do any time of the year, mini orphanage and like some of the East African north to south, with its southern end just 40 degrees north of Nairobi. Its watershed provides, making Aberdeen an important water town. Majestic peaks, moorlands, falls, and so much more. The varied landscapes of the Aberdeen Range provide an interesting and scenic environment for game viewing within the wildlife-filled forest. It is estimated that 2,000 elephants roam the clouded hills and mystic lanes of the Aberdeen forest. The Queen's Cave Pavilion was the site for the 1955 Royal Picnic Lunch for Queen Elizabeth II and her husband, Prince Philip. 747 square kilometers is truly a theatre of the wild. Tsavo ecosystem forms one of the last great free range of the African elephant in the Tsavo ecosystem, where erosion of soft and land rock has created a dramatic series of torture and rocky trails. Tsavo West National Park is renowned as a land of lava, springs, and man-eaters. It is one of the world's largest national parks. Tsavo is equivalent in size to Israel. The observation chamber sunk below the water enables visitors to view fish along the bottom of the pool. The volcanic convulsions of Tsavo's landscape are riddled with lava flows. The most spectacular is the Shetani flow, which is a coalesced tide of tar-like lava that spewed down the Chulu hills as they burst out of the plains about 200 years ago. The lava flow is also punctuated by a series of caves, many of which can be explored. Amboseli National Park is known to many as Kilimanjaro's Royal Court. There is literally nowhere else on earth, offering such a variety of wildlife attraction against the background of the mighty Mount Kilimanjaro, which is 6,000 meters above sea level, Africa's highest and most spectacular mountain. The major attraction of Amboseli, elephants have increased in number and are already reoccupying their home ranges. Water birds are abundant. Amboseli is well-known experience, and traveling at leisure in the wild in the company of unique assemblage of wildlife in national parks. Oh yes, a holiday in Kenya is a very special and unique experience. There is nothing like it anywhere in the world.
Because it wanted to be closer to the people. I'm happy that this model has been successful, like many other success models that have been tried in Kenya, like M-Pesa.
As a Kenyan, I'm proud of the Huduma services because at least they have come closer even to the rural areas. Because si kama kitambo, people used to travel longer distance to get an ID.
What this partnership can claim is the biggest reason for success is the goodwill that comes from the topmost public servant, and that's the President of Kenya. The President of Kenya himself has been supervising the introduction and the spread of Huduma services in this country. We have 38 outlets so far, up to the month of June, and we have many more to be opened in every county in this country. That goodwill that comes from government has been able to get us to where we are today.
Huduma Center services are very important.
35,000 Kenyans served every single day. 9 million Kenyans served thus far.